Hello everybody, welcome back to the review Vault for All. Today we have a triple feature. As you can see here, we have 3 Banpresto figures, all from the same anime, Rent a Girlfriend. So here we have Mami Nanami, here we have Sumi Sakurasawa, and then here we have Chizuru Mizuhara. So these are all Banpresto figures. And in my opinion, Banpresto is a very good company when it comes to their anime figures. They're very reliable when it comes to their quality of figures. Rarely do I have complaints about the figures. So let's take a closer look into this first one, Mami Nanami exhibition version. So immediately this figure stands out to me because of how controlled it feels, and that really fits her character perfectly. What I mean by controlled is, for those of you who've seen the anime, Mami always presents herself as composed, sweet, right? You could kind of tell what I mean if you look at her face. She looks very innocent, playful, colorful, bubbly, right? But, for those of you who've actually seen the anime, there's some manipulation happening underneath all this put togetherness, right? So, this pose and her outfit is very controlled, right? She's controlling how she's presenting herself, and that's what I mean by controlling, even though there's some secrets lying underneath all of this. So let's get into the actual figure itself. So the green skirt, it's bright, very bright, and I like this bow here, but it's very flat, drawing attention without texture overload, which is very deliberate for this type of character. You see, she's not really trying to stand out as much, right? She's trying to keep her presence kind of hidden, which makes a lot of sense for her character. But she still wants to present herself in a nice way. Of course, that's the whole point of her character. So moving on to her green top here, it really grounds the figure and keeps the palette from feeling too playful, right? So we don't want a very bright, loud shirt, right? We just want a plain, neutral black shirt, right? Because the skirt is already drawing enough attention itself. We don't want to really stand out, right? I like the subtle contrast between the light hair and the darker clothing here as well. It really makes her it makes her hair pop out more, right? Maybe she's trying to draw the most attention to her hair. It's very colorful. You could see here, it's an orange to pink, right? Very colorful. Here you can see she has green eyes. I also like her white necklace here. The necklace attracts a lot of attention because of the contrast between the black and white, right? So does her skirt band, I believe it would be called. Here you can see the shoes she wears. Looks very good. But the thing that obviously draws the most attention here is her pose. It's a very cocky pose, full of confidence, keeping that bubbly feeling, right? Like her face. trying to present herself as a sweet person so that you can't ever imagine what's actually underneath all of this. I would call this like a relaxed pose, emotionally controlling, right? Her expression, very neutral, as you can tell. Yeah, she's smiling, but still ambiguous as to what this expression is really saying. The figure looks very, polite, pleasant, and calm, which is exactly how Mami wants to be perceived. Alright, so moving on to Sumi Sakurasawa, EXQ figure. This one I would say is the most character accurate figure in the lineup, not because of the detail density, but because of the body language. Alright, so for those of you who've seen the anime, Sumi's entire character in the anime is built around shyness, hesitation, and softness. And that's like immediately obvious in this figure. If you could tell by her face, she looks very shy, timid. Her head, if you could tell, is like cocked back. So like if we contrast this figure, you see how her head is like outward, like very confident, cocky. This one here is cocked back, if you could see. See, she's like pulling herself back from the situation she's in. Right. So this figure absolutely nails her character. You could also tell by her knees, all right? Like, look at the pose. Her knees are very close to each other. Shoulders are inward because she's pulling herself back. And then her hands are tightly gripping that bag. So this isn't just like a cute, shy anime girl energy. It's specifically Sumi's character. If you've watched the anime, you would recognize her instantly without needing to really get up and close to see her outfit, just by the expression that she has. Actually, going into the figure, she has a soft pink and white palette. We have pastel tones, intentionally avoiding strong contrast. So everything kind of blends together if you really look at it. The only thing that's a very big contrast would be her green bag here. But if you just looked at her outfit, everything blends nicely. Her hair matches her skirt, which matches her shirt as well, like this ribbon and these buttons. Her shoes as well, right? So everything about her is, there's definitely a color theme to her outfit. Pink and white. So her clothing folds are smooth and restrained, nothing sharp or dramatic, right? So like if I just touch her like that, it's very smooth. It's no ridges or anything. The green bag adds a quiet pop of color without really overpowering the figure as a whole. It's just something that you notice and can't ignore, right? So if you really wanted to focus on her outfit, it's easy to ignore this green bag. It's not something that like gravitates all your attention to. So, some figures like this rely on a dramatic pose. Very loud pose, look at this. This one relies on restraint, right? Which actually takes more design discipline, right? So it's easy to add a dramatic pose like this, and then because of that pose alone, you would buy the figure. It's harder to have a quiet, reserved, restraint pose and want the figure. So you would actually have to put a lot of thought into the outfit. All right, so moving on to Chizuru Mizuhara. So this, in my opinion, is the loudest figure of the bunch. I mean, it's just so much in one figure. It's easily the most visually dynamic of the three, which actually lines up perfectly with how she functions in the anime. So for those of you who've seen the anime, Chizuru is emotionally complex, confident on the surface, thoughtful underneath, and this pose captures her public-facing self. Right? I mean, let's just look at this. So, very powerful foot positions here, right? She's actively presenting herself in this foot movement here. Very confident walk. A walk you would probably see like models do on a runway. A lot of forward motion, friendly, welcoming expressions you could see by her face and her hand, like she's actively waving at you, inviting you, right, to be in her presence. So looking at the actual figure itself, we have she has a pink top and a white skirt, which creates a light, approachable aesthetic. One of the most drawing things to this figure is obviously her flowing skirt, which actually has movement while standing still, obviously, because it's a figure. You could see that this figure captures her like mid-step in the middle of her walk. Her hair, obviously, is also in the middle of movement. It's flowing in the wind. Very confident. You can see here that she has orange eyes. She's smiling. She has a pink purse which matches her shirt. And here you can see that she has red heels on, which once again amplifies the confidence that this character has. So if we could see all of these figures side by side, it's very obvious that this character here is trying to pull the attention on herself by the cocky pose, the bubbly outfit and face. This character here, Sumi, is obviously trying to pull the attention away from her, right? Very reserved, pulling herself back. And this, in Chizuru, is obviously a non-trying type of person, right? This figure captures that without really trying and just being herself, she pulls all the attention to her. So I got the prices for these figures. I got these two secondhand, but I actually bought this one from Box Lunch, like years ago. I got these two recently. So I got this one for $17, I believe. This one for $15. I mean, that's what the price tag says. I still haven't removed it. 17, 15. I bought this one a while ago, I don't remember, but I feel like I could safely say 25 because I actually did not buy a secondhand. I bought it from Box Lunch within the box. Would I recommend these figures? Absolutely. For those of you who've seen Rent a Girlfriend and just want some nice figures to add to your collection. If this one was 25, I think it was 25, then these two most likely would also be 25 in the box, new. So, not too expensive, not too cheap, right? Banpresto isn't trying to compete with high-end figure scales here, right? So, they're not going to make them too expensive so that the normal collector can't buy them. So my final opinions, I would definitely recommend buying these figures. Banpresto did a good job making them. You know, the poses they chose for each figure is very accurate to the characters within the anime. The quality is pretty good. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend buying it. Alright, so thank you for tuning in, and come back next time for more reviews and honest opinions on products. I'll see you next time.